Yo, what's good everyone? Thank you for tuning in to today's video. If you're new around here, my name is Aidan, and after a short hiatus for Christmas, we are back with an absolute banger in today's video. Before we get into that, I just want to say to everybody that's tuning in, I hope you guys had an incredible Christmas with your friends, with your family, doing whatever you was doing, wherever you was doing it. I had an incredible Christmas. It was really great to spend some quality time with my friends and family. But with all that said, Christmas is always so hectic. It's such a busy time that I'm honestly really glad to be getting back to work, bringing you some absolutely incredible reviews of some incredible shoes. So with all that said and all my rabbiting done, sit back, relax, and let's go ahead and get straight into this video. So before we get into the nitty gritty and before we get into the good stuff, just like we always do, let's just kick this off with the packaging. And unfortunately we just get that regular, ordinary, bog standard packaging for this one. Nothing really to take a look at, but I just always like to show you guys. Now if we do just take a quick look at the label, which reads, we have the Nike Air Max 1 PRM, which stands for premium I believe. And this is in the Pecan Yellow Ochre colourway and is a UK size 9 as it is a personal pair. Very glad to get these in the collection. We're a lot easier to get than I was expecting as well, so that's always a good thing. And then with that aside, if we open up the box itself, on the inside we have that boring tissue paper, but underneath, here we have the kicks, so let's go ahead and get straight into the shoes. So without any further ado, the moment we've all been waiting for, in hand we have the Nike Air Max 1 Ugly Duckling in the Pecan colourway. Now this shoe did actually release as part of a pack of 2, so of course we had the pecans, but we did also see a release of the honeydews or the ceramics as well. Now I will personally be following up this review of the pecans with the honeydews as well. I did almost consider doing it as just one joint video of both of the pairs. We did that with the Casino Air Max ones, but in the end I kind of wish I would have done 2 separate reviews for the Casinas, so I didn't want to make that mistake again, even if it wasn't a mistake for a lot of people that were watching the video. For me, I really just would have preferred just to have 2 actual reviews on the channel. So with that, if you aren't really necessarily as excited for this pair as you are for the honeydews, just bear with me, that next review will be up within the next couple of days of this one going live.
Alrighty then.
Now both of the colourways are actually inspired by the 2020 Ugly Duckling pack, which we saw on the Nike Dunk Lows I believe, and that in itself was actually inspired by a previous release that was a Japanese exclusive back in 2001. So both of the colourways that did release this year to celebrate the 35th anniversary of the Air Max 1 have been highly anticipated for quite a lot of people. I saw a bunch of early reviews for these, and it was safe to say that this is definitely high on the list for me, especially with all the other Air Max 1s that have released this year, from collabs to GRs, and this is very much a GR release. The quality on this shoe, on both of the shoes to be completely honest, is actually of a very, very high quality. So if you have stumbled across this video, I know I'm late to the party and I know everybody else has done their reviews already. In this review, I'm going to break down everything that you need to know, from materials through to sizing, so by the end of this video, you can decide for yourself whether this is something you're going to add to your collection as well. So just dive in straight into this one, starting out with the upper to begin with, and as the name does suggest, this shoe does feature a really nice premium makeup, being constructed of a mostly all suede construction and featuring these really nice natural hues of both light and dark brown, a little bit of limestone with that yellow ochre in there as well. So if we kick this off from the front of the shoe and then we'll gradually work our way back. At the base of the shoe, but primarily on the toe box, we have that really nice dark brown coloured suede making up the toe box itself, which is then nicely accented with that limestone coloured suede wrapping around the toe box on the mudguard. Now one of the first things that I noticed as soon as I got these out of the box is just how good the suede is. I'm by no means a professional, but I buy a lot of shoes and I know what I do like and what I don't like, and I love everything about this suede. It has that really nice two-tone variation to it, so if you brush your finger across it, it has a slightly different look to it, which I personally am a massive fan of. Doesn't necessarily determine that it's a good quality overall, but overall, I'm personally having absolutely no complaints with it. And then on the mudguard itself, we do have a slight two-tone variation. Maybe not as prominent or as nice as what we saw with the toe box itself. But again, it's absolutely no complaints. I think the colour balance as well is a really nice look. The only thing that's really missing for me is a mini swoosh. I would have loved a mini swoosh, but that's kind of neither here nor there. As we then continue to work our way throughout the rest of the upper, on both the U-throat as well as in the quarter midfoot panel, again we have more of that really nice premium, slightly lighter brown suede on the U-throat and the midfoot panel. And then as we work our way into the midfoot itself, we have that really nice yellow ochre colour making up the Nike swoosh on both the lateral and medial sides. Again, as I was saying a little bit earlier on, I think that pop of yellow just really sets this one off. I really like the overall tonal looks, the way it shifts from the lighter to the darker browns or the darker browns to the lighter browns. But I think adding in that yellow mix, for me, is just a really, really nice touch if you're asking me. As we then work our way onto the ankle collar, starting with the top eye stays to begin with, we do have, again, more of that limestone colour, and the eye stays have been constructed from a TPU material. As we then reach the ankle collar itself, just like what we saw with the toe box, we have more of that very nice dark brown coloured suede on the ankle collar itself. And as you reach the heel, we see that very nice combination of the ironstone suede at the bottom, that very nice light brown suede in the middle, and at the very top, again, as we said with the ankle collar, we have that dark brown suede once again. Now, in the middle of the heel, replacing that typical Nike Air branding, instead for this one, we do have that yellow embroidered little duck. I personally think that's absolutely incredible. I absolutely love that look when it came on the Casinas as well. Don't even know what it is about ducks, don't even really like ducks, but when it comes to duck releases, I love the Casinas. It was my #1 shoe release of 2022 if you saw that video, a little bit of a spoiler if you didn't. But again, there's just something about that embroidered duck that I love so much. It's the same with the ceramics as well. Again, a little bit of a spoiler alert, but I think from both of these shoes and both of these examples, I think that yellow embroidered duck just looks absolutely incredible. Now, when it does come to the lacing options for these, I have seen quite a few people actually discussing the different lacing options. Now, the laces that you get in the shoe to begin with are of that yellow ochre colour in a slightly darker tone to what we saw with the actual swoosh itself, which was a little bit disappointing. I really wish it would have been a closer colour match, but that's again kind of neither here nor there. But if you're not really feeling the yellow laces, you do also get a brown extra set of laces as well. Personally, it's not really doing it for me. I think I'm just going to leave it as it is. If maybe I could find a slightly closer colour match to the swoosh, I might be tempted to swap it out, but I think I'm going to save these brown laces for a rainy day. There's always a need for brown laces, so definitely can't complain. And, you know, no, I'm not complaining, but again, the yellow laces is probably going to be the way that I'm going to go. Now, the laces themselves do sit atop a brown nylon tongue at the base of the tongue itself, but as we work our way up to the top, we do have that brown tongue tag with that Nike Air Max branding on there as well. As we then work our way onto the inside of the shoe, both on the back of the tongue as well as on the sock liner, we do have more of that really nice limestone colour, and it is just your typical Air Max 1 sock liner. There isn't an abundance of padding, but for just regular all-day wear, should it be an issue, very, very nice on feet. And as we then work our way even further onto the inside of the shoe, we do have that very nice brown colour on the insole, and it does also feature that yellow ochre Nike Air branding on there as well. Very nice indeed. And then just to close that in terms of the details, as we work our way down to the midsole, we do have your pretty standard polyurethane midsole with that visible air unit in there towards the heel, and it has been tinted in that very nice yellow colour. And as we then reach the outsole, we do have your traditional Air Max 1 outsole done in that mostly all block yellow colour, which does also feature a slight speckle pattern to it as well, which I did think was a really nice touch. And when it comes to the overall sizing for these, I'm just going to suggest you go with your natural true to size fit in whatever you would typically wear with Air Max 1s. This is the exact same size as every other Air Max 1 in the collection, doesn't feel any different, so that's what I'm going to suggest you guys do. If you've never owned a pair of Air Max 1s before, as I was saying a little bit earlier on, fortunately enough, these are sitting absolutely everywhere right now, so definitely try before you buy if you've never owned one to make sure you're getting the correct sizing for you, but otherwise just go with your natural true to size fit and you should be absolutely fine. And then outside of that, we've covered everything that you need to know, from materials through to sizing, so if we now just go ahead and just wrap up this video. So just to wrap up this video so you guys can get out of here, in terms of my overall opinion on the shoe itself, to give these a rating, I'm going to say these are a very solid 8.5 out of 10. Definitely a lot to love about these. The overall quality of the shoe in terms of the materials and the construction, exceptional. There is some slight QC issues with mine, nothing major, it's more a loss of just like a glue stain across the mudguard, but kind of to be expected with these lighter tonal colours. It's going to show up, it's going to be a little bit more evident. But in terms of other issues, I've got absolutely no complaints with this one. It came in at a pretty affordable price, and I believe if you do actually have a discount code, you can even get them under retail. I've seen quite a few people get these under retail. So with that said, that's pretty much all I have to really say about these. It was a very nicely executed shoe. The colourway screams just a future classic, and I feel like a lot of people will regret passing on these if you do. So I would definitely recommend check these out, see for yourself if you're liking them, because for me, definitely one of the nicest Air Max 1 releases that we've seen this year. I'd love to get your guys' opinion on it as well, so do let me know all of your thoughts on my rating, let me know yours and any of your other thoughts. Do make sure to leave all of those in the comment section down below. And if you have stuck around to this point in the video, as always, I just want to say a massive thank you. If you haven't already, please feel free to smash that subscribe button. Also, do make sure the bell notification is switched on so you never miss a video, and I hope to see you all again in the next one. Happy New Year.